Hi, this is David Comfort from Democracy Action Network. Here's what's actually wild. The past few years have shown us that appeasing a demagogue like Donald Trump only emboldens him. Ever notice how history seems to repeat itself? What if I told you that the reluctance to hold Trump accountable for his actions has opened the door to a potential dictatorship right here in America? As we reflect on the Biden administration's approach to Trump, we see a stark divide. On one side, there were voices advocating for accountability, urging that Trump must face the consequences for his insurrection on January 6th. On the other, a cautious camp argued that any legal action must be handled with kid gloves to avoid the appearance of political persecution. Guess what? The latter group largely won out. Instead of taking decisive action, we ended up with a milquetoast response that allowed Trump to continue his dangerous antics. This is honestly crazy, but think about it. Years of inaction gave Trump and his cronies the chance to manipulate the legal system. Instead of swift justice, we witnessed delays that allowed Trump to sidestep accountability, turning the U.S. into a playground for his authoritarian ambitions. Immigrants are being rounded up and sent to concentration camps, all while the Republican Party pushes for a massive increase in deportation budgets, effectively creating a state apparatus that mirrors a Gestapo. But here's where it gets even more absurd. Trump, who has been convicted of crimes, is still treated like royalty, and the Supreme Court has effectively declared him immune from legal accountability. This is the opposite of due process. It's a glaring example of how the powerful can get away with anything. Now let's pivot to something inspiring. We can view these challenges as puzzles to solve. History teaches us that democracies must be vigilant against threats to freedom. The Founding Fathers were deeply aware of the dangers posed by demagogues. They crafted the Constitution with checks and balances to prevent any one individual from seizing total power. Franklin D. Roosevelt understood that strong governments can protect citizens from fear and starvation, which is vital for democracy to thrive. So, what can we do? We must reclaim our power and demand accountability. It's time to stand up against the normalization of corruption and authoritarianism. By engaging in the democratic process, advocating for justice, and holding our leaders accountable, we can create a society where freedom and equality prevail. Let's remember that our democracy is worth fighting for. Together, we can dismantle the culture of impunity that has allowed figures like Trump to rise. The future is bright if we unite and stand firm against injustice. Remember, democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires active participation from all of us. So let's get to work, because the fight for a just society is far from over. This is David Comfort from Democracy Action Network. Peace. You can sign up for Dan by scanning this QR code.